There we go. Now it should be grabbing that properly. Sorry, but if you got the wrong microphone for a moment there. We're doing week 3 here in the Zandt Scrapyard Showdown. Um, first drop this today. First drop this today. Yes, sir. I have words in my mouth. Is going to be NAFF and the 2D20 Salvage crew. NAFF in the Team 1 side here on River City. It doesn't look like they're taking any advantage of the overwatch from the airport. Focusing instead the southern half of the map. And that Team 2 is doing a little spread Alpha Charlie main, so maybe they're going to try to go around the other way. Yeah, just getting all the settings in right quick. I got back from another commitment just in time to grab this match. Hopefully we'll see some fun things here. So this is 7v7 mixed tech. No duplicate variants. Up to 3 of a chassis. First drop here is River City. Max tonnage is 210. It will be interesting to see what the folks decide to do, as this first drop is kind of a light one. So it looks like we're going to have from Team 1, we're going to have Arctic Wolf, Kit Fox, Incubus, Cougar, Flea, Locust, Jenner, Oxide. So I'm going to guess that's an SRM or a Streak Strat, something like that. And from Team 2 here in 2D20, Kit Fox, Flea, Spider, Jenner, 2C3, Raven, maybe Snubs, maybe Small Lasers. We'll have to see what happens here. As we can see, Team 1 coming in right over here. Ooh, a little more.
Command coming in. Capture and hold the resource point. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
There we go. There's the Flea, the Incubus, and the Locust, Flea, and Incubus, pardon me. Capital letters, small lasers, pulse lasers. Yep, there's some streaks. Let's come over here and see what the rest of these NAFF folks are up to.
Confirming that we have possession of Kappa.
Cougar, 2 ATM 12s. Kit Fox, 5 ATM 3s. Ooh. They're playing the ATM game on a map with a lot of cover. It's a bold choice. We'll see how it works out for them. They've already grabbed Kappa, and Team 2 in the cap lead. Let's see if we can tell what they're doing here. Let's see what that Jenner tells us. Dear Jenner, do you tell us anything? You tell us plasma cannons. 2D20 grabbing the 3 cap here, and looking like they're fairly content as NAFF settles on the far side of the island. Let's see if we've got up here. Are these sniper boys? What's this? Snub-nose mag shots. ER large lasers. So there's a little bit of snipe there. NAFF making most of a push. They got noticed. Looks like somebody's been left behind, though. Midalus in the...
They have resource point Gamma.
in the Locust there. NAFF apparently not too worried about caps yet, but they're going to have to... Alright, so they aren't going to grab Sigma on their way. It looks like the teams are just swapping positions right now. Yep, and there we see some of the long range from 2D20 as they try to get shots across the map. .2D20 now up in the airport sniping position. And NAFF looks like they're headed into the rock garden. Lethe taking a couple of shots there. Umbral Dancer in that Arctic Wolf is just charging right at him. and eating shots from two sides, and he's going to be stuck there under the wall. But he seems to have inspired everybody else to come with him. But, ooh, that Arctic Wolf, that was given up pretty much for free. That's going to hurt. They're starting to get some good damage here against 2d20, but that's the second one down. That's the Incubus, the Saber. And now we've got the Raven here running around the back with the two snubs. It's a fun little Raven. As the brawl continues over here, there's Lethe from Zalus. From Zalasis. It's like he might be in troubles here too. They're getting... NAFF got some good damage in on these folks, but they just didn't seem like they were able to finish any... Nope, they got Jordy and the Locust. But there's the... See here, capital letters. Probably not going to clutch that. But yeah, that path across... after they rotated around and basically switched spawns, I think that charge that NAFF did not go terribly well for them. Let's see if that Arctic Wolf actually got any damage out. I'd be interested to see. Okay, so he did get 72 out. Mytilus and that Locust got 30. Okay. Let's head back to the lobby here and take a look as we now switch over to Alpine Peaks. Is marked incorrectly. Interesting. So that's a win for the Salvage crew. We'll get their points up on the board here and log that match. Yeah, I think that charge that NAFF did, you know, they're right that they had the ATMs, so they weren't really going to get good shots across that water, at least not going up. But I don't think the way that charge worked out, I'm not sure if that was the call or a misinterpretation or what happened there. But yeah, so let's head over here and take a look at the map. Because we played this last week for drop 1. But all the spawns have changed since the last time this was a comp map, which is part of the reason it's being run in this tournament, is to see how it goes and how it feels. Team 2 obviously starts very close to Gamma. Team 1 a little bit further from their caps. But there is a lot of options on what you can do. You know, there's always the big sort of sniping spots from the mountains and the different ridges. Or you can try to rain down LRMs from those. You know, you can also... This path up here from the Team 1 side is not as steep as you might think. And so if you've got Team 2 trying to set up here, if you've got a good strong push, you could push right into some snipers. You know, there's a lot of things that can be done. So it will be interesting to see what the folks do as they look at this map here. You know, Team 1 might have an easier chance trying to run some sort of a 3 cap with these and then just deny the zone. Team 2 could try the same here. So my first instinct, you know, whenever I look at this and from what I've seen, is that Epsilon is the place where the fight's going to happen. Or at least, you know, if somebody wants to run a cap strat, that's going to be the difficult one to control. But there's a lot of places to get Overwatch and a lot of space. You know, if you've got a lot of small mechs small fast max, you could very easily run a spread and try to win the game on caps. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see that at some point over the weekend here. But we'll take a moment and we'll see where we end up. Yeah, and sorry about not having the water on River City before for you. Just trying to make sure the potato I've got here can keep up with the game and streaming at the same time. So if we head back into the lobby here to take a look at how the folks are lining up. Team 1 is focusing to Charlie, which their spawns don't really tell too much, but it does make me think they're going to try more of a southern route of some sort. Whether it's, the F5 to G6, sort of push around and up, or if they're trying to take the long way. Yeah, tonnage for this drop is now up to 315, still 7 mechs. And we see NAFF at full, and it looks like 2D20 is 5 tons short, which isn't necessarily too much. And they're going to go in at 310. So here we go into the launch. And since NAFF is in the Team 1 position for these first 2 drops, they're being played on the EU servers. After this drop, the teams will switch sides, and play will resume on the North American servers for 2 drops. Team NAFF pulling out Falcon, Incubus, Longbow, Overcharge, Rifleman 2C... Hero, which is Chrono something, Arctic Wolf 2, Commando, the Christmas Commando, the DO3, and the Osiris 1P. So I'm going to guess this is Brawl with some Overwatch from them. Team 2, Cougar E, Vulcan 2T, Flea, Irby Legend, Spider, Execute. Looks like both teams might be trying the same thing. I want to get over here and take a look at some of these builds just to get a better idea of what they're up to.
Capture and hold the resource point. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
Irby, AP, Goss, and Plasmas. Let's take a look at these big guys. Because we've got Catgirl here in the Executioner M with the large and micros. Hellfire, large, and Hag 40, the Cougar, large laser. So they've got what looks like it's going to be 3 Overwatch mechs and a light pack.
They have resource point Gamma.
Whereas NAFF is grabbing Epsilon, and then they've got a lot of folks running all up and down the mountains here. Let's see if we can get some looks at who and what is what. Capital letters in the Commando. 5 small pulses. Trims taking up a position right here with 5 ER large and 7 small.
They've taken Epsilon.
We're getting a little bit of
We've captured resource point.
shot trading here as 2D20 comes up and gets Epsilon and Theta. Good strong Epsilon push. They took it. They're getting just tapped a little bit by what is this? Oh, that's the Rifleman 2C. He's up there with Goss and ER large. Okay. And that's a pretty good vantage point he has up here. And then over here at Theta, Indigo and ferret. So these are large lasers and hags, as I recall. Yeah. Bit of an artillery strike on the top of the mountain. But once again, 2d20 grabs the 3 cap. And there's somebody way up there. Mitalus is just climbing the mountains in this Vulcan. Does he know? I don't think he knows that there's a flea trying to get to him. Oh man, I haven't seen anybody all the way up here in a long time. Do they know they're close to each other? Because this flea here is what? What's your loadout? Tell me. ER smalls and mag shots. Like, if he can find that Vulcan, he can take down an Overwatch. But nope. Here's Mitalus. He's in trouble over here now. With that Spider 5K. And now the flea's got him too. That Spider is this snub and mag shot Spider. Yep, he's getting chased down the mountain. Yep. Got chased down the mountain. There's like a 3-on-2 over here. Yeah, and he's in trouble. And Mintaka's coming in to try to save him, but it doesn't look like it's gonna make a difference. Yeah. Oh, and they're gonna get the Incubus too. The Flea, the Spider, the Vulcan, they're all chasing this Incubus. See what sort of shape he's in. Not great. Trying to get out a little bit of damage, but he recognizes he is trapped. And the Incubus, Mintaka self-destructs. 2d20 takes a 2-mech lead. They still hold 3 caps to 2. And that's one of the snipers and one of the brawlers gone from NAFF. Take a zoom out here and see if we still have a rifleman all the way up the hill. We don't. He has come down. At least somewhat. Is this a play on Theta? The longbows come all the way around to the other side and decided he doesn't actually want to get up there.
Resource point Theta is ours.
There we are. NAFF finally relieving some cap pressure, but it's not going to be that way for long as Jordy, Top Hat, and Tear come up again. Just trying to chase him down and grab control of that cap point again.
Theta is controlled by the enemy. 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 Theta is controlled by the
All right, this is a new bug. How many more times is he going to say that? All right, I guess that was enough. But yeah, NAFF down 2 mechs and a cap. Almost 200 cap tickets, too. They're going to have to decide what to do. Capital letters over here in the commando. Oh, he's been spotted. Yep, he's been spotted. And he's pulling a lot of them back with him. Maybe he's bait? Is there a movement going on the other side? Not really. Yeah, if he was meant to be bait, it's not working very well. That commando, of course, being the one you can put a standard engine in, can take a lot of punishment until a leg comes off. Now, if that was bait, it did not function well, or the rest of the team was not able to capitalize on it. See if we can find who's left. Here are the riflemen and the longbow on the east side of the map, running up that gorge there. And got the Arctic Wolf. Is that ATMs this time? Nope, that's Streaks and Larges. But he is... Looks like he's losing his trades and he's about to get pounced on too. Yep. 2 snipers having shots on him. And the Spider has made it all the way over as well to join in that. The Osiris trying to get over here to the big guys that are left. I don't know if they're just trying to avoid getting killed right now, or if they might have a somewhat more ambitious plan, but this game's about to time out on conquest points soon. Unless they can grab all 3 of those cap points. Oh, and there's Trems. Trems and that longbow got taken down. And there it is on caps. Yeah, 2D20 took a solid Overwatch position and with a light pack and just pushed and got the ones that were scattered out and just held control of those caps. Alrighty, and as we head back into the lobby, we'll take a look here. Actually, let's take a second and look at the map there. Because what 2D20 seemed to be doing was they took a strong position up here in the mountains. Oh, that drew. Oh, that's not the tool I thought it was. Anyways, they took a strong position up in these mountains. And then anytime they noticed one of the NAFF mechs off by itself, like Midalus, who was up here, they pushed him. His support came up too late, so they got those 2 mechs. I won't say for free, but they got them. They didn't lose much armor getting those down. And then with the 3 cap, the pressure was on. We saw NAFF try to poke this down this way, back up, and around, but they just couldn't find a good way to assault that. Assault that upper position. Yeah, good play by 2D20. Took advantage of the map, held the 3 cap, and didn't let themselves get baited out into anything disadvantageous to their position. Now we are back into the lobby and watching the teams set up again. So, and I need to actually swap that over. But 2D20 has taken the first 2 drops. And yeah, things are swapped over now. Teams are swapped now. I'll just double check with them if they're doing the server swap. Oh. Alrighty. Just a little bit of a reminder there. And as they all get ready, I'm going to stand up and do a bit of a stretch here. But yeah, that last match, it looked like NAFF tried to bring some bracket builds. It was interesting. It was that very strong mountain position. It'll be interesting to see if the teams now are going to try each other's strategies from the previous drop or do something completely different. Yeah, 2D20, pretty much all matching tags. NAFF is a team of teams. I don't think that I've seen a duplicate tag on their players yet. All right. There we are, a little bit more reorganization from 2D20. Bringing them up to Alpha and Charlie, so they could be doing a little bit of a two-pronged push. Or is that hill in Bravo just that unfortunate? And Team 1 has locked in almost an even split between Alpha and Charlie, so Alpha might be some bigger guys and Charlie some lights heading down to get this side of the map. Yeah. And now NAFF taking a moment there in the Team 2 position to spread themselves out after Team 1 has locked. Illusion, thank you for the Prime sub. Sorry, there's a 5-minute delay, so I don't get to anything like that right away. But, yeah. This will be our second drop at 315 tons. And after this, there will be 2 drops at 420 tons on Series Scrapyard. Yeah. There we are. And NAFF has locked up. And the button is hit, and here we go. NAFF looking to get their first drop win, see if they can pull off the reverse sweep here. $2D20. Their drop basically matches, their deck seems to match the one from the prior drop. NAFF seems to be up to something different here with an Incubus, the Virago, Summoner D, Arctic Wolf, Ice Ferret. It's not really called Refrigerator. Shadow Cat and a Locust. So I'm going to try and pop over here and see what they're doing. Because it really looks like 2D20, the Salvage crew, is doing the same thing again. So where do you all come in? Right about here. That's what I thought.
Command coming in. Capture and hold the resource point. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
Take a look at that Summoner, ER Large Lasers, Shadowcat, ER PPC, Refrigerator, Heavy Machine Guns, and Micropulses. You guys over here. Who are you and what do you do?
They have resource point Gamma.
Hellbringer, 4 ER Larges.
We have gained Epsilon.
And it looks like they are just trying to grab Gamma and Theta right quick. Whereas, oh, yep, 2D20 sending an Incubus way up into the mountains this time. With 2 ER large lasers. And NAFF taking the position at the top of Theta. Unfortunately, the announcer is only going to tell us that once. NAFF also sending folks back up to that position above the big radio tower here. Right up here under the cleft of the mountain. I'm not sure they're going to have... They're going to have a great view, but I'm not sure they're going to have enough range to do much.
Captured resource point Sigma.
Because that's the ERPPC Shadowcat. And what's over here? And then that's the... Yeah, that's the ER Large Laser Summoner. I think they're trying to get shots down into the valley here. Pardon me, aiming for the cat girl. NAFF has the 2 highest peaks here, and they're just trying to shoot down in. And it looks like we're going to have a little skirmish over here at Kappa. It looks like it might be a 2v1. It could be a 2v2, but NAFF's second player is really behind there. Oh, I bet he's been spotted. Yeah, see.
Command confirming that we have possession of Kappa.
There's 2D20 grabbing that Locust on both sides. We've got a big skirmish going on over here. The trading doesn't look like it's doing too much from what I can tell from the numbers. We'll see here. NAFF seems to be pushing him off in this little 2v2 here. Definitely seem more concerned about keeping their caps. Sort of damage did Plato take in that Incubus, letting some smoke. So his back is open and so is one of his arms. NAFF's Light Pack doing a better job of keeping themselves in one piece this go around. Or Light Pair, I should say. So let's take a look when we get back over here. So we've got Eric Cree up here on the hill. He's smoking a little bit. Looks like he might have cooked himself. Just a tad. We've got up here on the mountain, we've got Umbral Dancer and that Arctic Wolf. There's 2 ER larges in the streaks. Rent 76. ER large and micro pulse. Get more bracket builds. NAFF light pack, a light duo. Heading over here trying to grab Sigma, put that cap pressure back on 2D20 just like they had it last. Make 2D20 feel the pinch that NAFF was feeling in the last one. As 2D20 is just taking that push. You see the mountains are high, but this area here, most mechs can get up that. You don't need jump jets. You don't lose too much speed without hill climb either. Let's see if NAFF can actually, their snipers can support each other. Oh, they've been pushed off the top of the mountain. They were not able to support each other enough to keep that high ground. And now Eric Kree, that Hellbringer, he is in trouble. He's getting bullied by the Incubus. After hiding there, they're coming over to the Arctic Wolf. Yep, and it's a 3-4-on-1 up there, so Umbral Dancer goes down. And once again, here's the push. They've got 2 or 3 from one side, and then Jordy on the Flea is punishing from the other. Hellbringer down, and now this Incubus is just stuck in the middle of 4, soon to be 5 mechs. Yeah. So that leaves, oh, and there's another fight up here on the hill. As Drake tries to take down the Executioner. Drake running down. There's Mytilus taken down. He made the run all the way. Did he make the run all the way back there, or did he die up on that hill? He made it halfway back. Then he lost in the trades there. We've still got a few long-range fights going on here. NAFF is down to 3 mechs, and they're in rough shape. They're also down to 2 caps. Trying to get a third one. And there's the pressure on Kappa. If they can't get themselves a clear path to a couple of other caps, they're in trouble. That Locust is down. I'm guessing that was both legs. Yep, that was the legs. And then Tremzalisis takes out the Vulcan to escape, and he looks like he's in okay shape. Trying to get over here where he can 1v1 this Hellfire instead of having to worry about the Overwatch, but the angles are just not there for him. Graham's getting one more, and he's got to run. Both his legs are open. His legs are... oof. Yeah, no jump jets on that Space Ferret from what I remember, so he's got to be careful. He's the last one. Who is over here? Oh, and it's Jordy and the Flea, the FA. I don't think that's a fight he wins. No, Jordy's still fresh all over ER Small's mag shots. That's not a fight that's gonna take. And now 2D20 has all 5 cap points, and that was a leg coming off of Trems. And there he goes. Yeah, NAFF did a lot more of a map control, putting pressure on this time, and It worked pretty well for them at the beginning there. Drake and the Locust, the only one held to double digits. Yeah, otherwise, the damage numbers are all right. It just feels like they didn't, or they weren't able to get any focus together onto the same target. And with that, we'll head back to the lobby here and we'll play the first drop on series. Teams will stay in the same position, and we're still on the North American server for this drop. And then they'll swap sides and head back to the European server for the last of the drops. Let's see here. The Incubus 5. I don't think I looked at the 5. I might have only looked at the P or the 4. Sorry about that, Nuba. Hopefully I clicked on it at some point. But I think it's large. I think it's Plasmas and AP Goss, if I remember right. And I know I'm saying this to you 5 minutes late. Yeah. So taking a look at the map here for series, both teams start, both teams start with an obvious home cap. And from there, I've seen folks try to rotate, this way. I've seen pushes up here. I've seen just the straight theta push. From the team 1 side, team 2, I've seen a little try to wrap around up here. Again, this is a map where some of these hills can function as decent. We've seen NAFF take some up high and out of the way sniping spots, so they might try to do that again. And some of these. Oofda. Some of these places over here, up there. There's all sorts of sniping spots too. Team 1, from what I recall, has a couple of good snipe potentials as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, because you can Pop-Tart, you can Overwatch, you can try to brawl rush through the canyons. Lots of opportunities for this map, and it's not one that is, very often played or well played out. So, it's kind of difficult to do, and you have to remember where a bunch of these canyons, there are all these places where it's easy to get up and over versus where it's, sort of difficult to climb all the different garbage piles. So, there's lots of options, lots of things the teams can do. 2D20's been, from what I recall, they've been seeming pretty strong on their range game today. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they tried that again, tried to take sort of a standoff position. And see if they can get NAFF to push in again. This is one where I don't think it's as easy as it was on Alpine to grab control of 3 points and just sort of sit and hold from a central location, because there's nothing like the big dumb mountain, sort of just off the center of the map. There's shots into all the cap points from a variety of angles, but I haven't been able to find a spot yet that lets you watch 3 of them very effectively. And with that, Team 1 has locked with the vast majority of their mechs in Alpha, 2 in Bravo, 1 in Charlie. So it might be some sort of a light mech split. Everybody else head that way. Sort of deal, but we will head back to the lobby here as the teams are locking and see what we can figure out. Both teams coming in at the maximum, 420 tons. Yeah. As we get going. So Team 1 is locked in. You can see their distribution here and on the little map there. So just 1 in that northern spawn and the rest closer to the south. And there's Team 2 locking, and here is the launching. As we head in for drop 4 of 5. 2d20 currently ahead. 3 drops to 0. NAFF still hoping to get a couple of wins. Even though they won't get the match, they can still get some points for the board. Let's see here what we've got. I am up here by Team 2, and we are expecting them to come in with Shadowcat, Flea, Osiris, Stone Rhino 1, Night Gear, Black Ladder, Belinarius, and a Bull Shark 6. So there's some big boys they're planning on bringing in here. I'm going to guess this is going to be some sort of an AC-10 plasma deck, but we'll find out here in a second.
Command coming in. Capture and hold the resource point. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
Midalus, ERPPC, AC-10. Bull Shark is AC-5s and light PPCs. Stone Rhino, AC-10s and plasmas. The 3 big boys. And that Black Lantern is going to be fat. Oh, PPC is flinging across the map already. Let's see who's over here. That's that Cicada. With the 2 ERPPCs. The Bull Shark, AC-10 plasmas. AC-10s plasmas. It looks like both sides are taking sort of mid-range decks. Both grabbing their home cap. NAFF trying to grab Theta as well. Lots of fire going in there. You see Leaf and the Cicada trying to get shots up here from the garbage pile just northwest of Epsilon. What does he have behind him? Behind him he has the big boys, and they've got a Crusader 6T, 2 ERPPCs, and a bunch of small lasers, so a lot of bracket builds over there. NAFF having 2 cap points to 1. Let's see if Top Hat the Ferret over here. AP Goss and Plasma and the Mishipeshu. And a Vapor Eagle over here as well. ERPPC AP Gauss.
We have gained
And once again, just 2 range brackets. NAFF grabbing that 3rd cap to put some pressure on there. I want to see what this Black Lantern is doing. I've never seen them do much beyond smalls and micros. So yep, he's going to be looking at where he can be. Plasmas, AP, ERPPC, AC-10, yeah. There's a fight here in the middle. The lights from NAFF have taken a fair amount of damage. Trying to get Theta, and it looks like they've lost it. They've been pushed off. That's okay, they're still up ahead. You know, they're not gaining ground, but they're not losing it either in the cap race. From Zalasis and the Bull Shark trading with, it looks like 2 or 3 other folks. It looks like he's taking some big hits here. Nope, just all armor. But they are trying to get up closer to him. That Piranha, the Vapor Eagle, the Rival, Shadowcat. Here we are. NAFF takes the 3 cap again, trying to get themselves some space in that cap race. Dagus down here in his Stone Rhino. Has he been halved? No, he is just hurt. Maybe he's cooked himself a bit? Yeah, the big boys from NAFF are hurting pretty hard. Yentao has taken down Drake and the Flea. And he took a lot of damage getting Theta back. Let's see, the bigs are getting stuck over in this puddle. Over here we've got Midalus and Captain Rex trying to... Ooh, Yentao takes down Lethe. And Top Hat Ferret comes up and says he wants that night gear. He's not going to get it, but he did a lot of... kept him busy. So Leaf could take him out there with the Sniping Cicada. Indigo Man, self-destruct. That was that Crusader with all the smalls and ERPPCs. Be a hot build. What is it here? Captain Rex running away. Duty 20 has the 3 cap now, as they just pick apart the assaults down here. Gonzalez is taking down somebody with him. See if we can figure out this. And there's the Stone Rhino that shots around the corner. And the last guy here for NAFF is Captain Rex, and he was already having 2 pushing him. Yeah. Gonzalez is pushing out 744 damage, but that's just not enough by himself to get that. Get a lot of those guys down. Now, with the exception of Drake here, you had some decent damage numbers. That with a bit of focus, you'd expect those to have taken down a couple of mechs at least, but just didn't turn out that way. Now the teams are going to swap sides once more. And we're going to do one last play, and that's going to be series again from both sides, from the other side. Yeah, lots of teams in that last drop trying to have both the range and the close up. Um, I don't know if maybe a concerted brawl push is maybe a better choice, or the long range. It could be that that is the optimal strategy. Coming in with a mixed bag, or bracket builds where you have the long range and short on pretty much everything. But it's always interesting to see what folks do because it's not a map that gets played too terribly often. So a lot of folks aren't coming in with too many preconceived notions, and we see a few different ideas coming in here on the options. Yeah, it looked like NAFF tried to have control of the caps there, but their lights lost so much fighting Theta that they couldn't just keep that up. Yeah. This is the teams swap around here. And get into position for 2D20 back in Team 2. And they look like they're all ready to go. They might even be just waiting to drop the lock button. Split on the Team 2 side there. Heavy and Charlie Lance. Sorry, forgot to drop my quick little reminder about the server settings. Get them in, let them relock up here, and here we go. Just another little bit of joy here where when you change the server, it unreadies you. Let's see if they try to do something similar here again for both teams, or if there's going to be an all new and better plan. A lot of the mechs look the same, and the team's readied up pretty quick, so I wouldn't be surprised if in fact it really is just the same plan from the other side. Because there's Leaf in that Cicada, Jordy the Piranha, Centurion Crusader, Stone Rhinos, Mishi, Bull Sharks. Yeah, I'm gonna bet that this is all the same business. Was there anyone we didn't get a good look at? Let's take a look and see, just to be sure. Mish, yep, that's still that same Mishi.
Enemy forces have Sigma. We have Gamma.
Looks like there's a spider where there wasn't one before. A couple of things have changed on the NAFF side, but not too much. There's Drake coming in. once again having that immediate light fight over Theta here.
We have gained Epsilon.
And Drake is getting pounded by something from range as he tries to get an angle on Geordi, tries to find a good angle for that light fight. But there are just too many people with Overwatch on Theta right now. They've got the 2 caps. He doesn't need to... They just need to deny it. Nope. There we are. So now it's 2-2, soon to be 2-3. As 2D20 sent somebody over to Kappa. Drake's still trying to see if he can get an angle on this, but it doesn't look terribly promising for him right now. The Jaegus has already taken some good hits in that Stone Rhino. We talk about firing lions all the time, but I think that was the closest to an actual line I've ever seen, even if they are now just falling apart. Yunto and his bull shark cooking more than taking shots, or maybe some hit reg in the back, or maybe it was an artillery strike. Yeah, they've got... NAFF has just the 2 over here trying to hold, it looks like 4 or 5. There's the artillery strike. These are the bull shark and the stone rhino, but those 2 can't hold up to that much. But Yuntao now taking some big hits. He's getting caught out on the side. If we can get that. Drake got some good shots into him, and it looks like Midalus may have as well. Geordi and the Piranha maybe getting baited into a 1v3. Oh, nope. Lethe and Rex are not pursuing that too hard. What's happened over here with the big guys? The big guys are just over here. Yuntao and his bull shark going down. Trems and Jaegus holding their little corner here. Neither of them look like they're in great shape. Trems missing an arm, but seems to have all his guns, or most of them at least. Jaegus as well. Like they're hurting, but they can still get in there and be effective. Oh, Leaf is going to come over. I don't know if Leaf recognizes how close. Rex taking down the cat girl on the side there. Take a look at this angle here. NAFF getting some better focus in here. You know, they're still hurting, but this is at least letting them get ahead. They've got the 3 cap and 2 mechs, but so many mechs in trouble. So many just struggling. Midalus taking down Indigo over there in the Crusader. Shadowcat self-destructing. Geordi and that Piranha now caught between 3 mechs. You know, he's been part of those light packs trapping all these NAFF mechs all day, and they have decided it is revenge time. Lethe and that Spider, that was the machine gun large X-Pulse. Overheating, cooks off a side torso, XL engine, death. That leaves just Leaf over here in the Cicada. And I think he's lagged. Yep. Oh, nope, he wasn't lagged. There we are. NAFF getting out there and pulling off a point. That's going to make it 1 point for NAFF. Or, pardon, 1 drop for NAFF. Each win is 2 points. And a... Yeah. So once again, you see their damage numbers aren't too much different from where they were before. I mean, Trem's got 900. That's incredible. But, you know, still, it just feels like they focused a little better and they had some better angles. And that's what let them get it done. But some good matches and some good plays from both teams. Alrighty. And yes, Lethe, I witnessed your shame. So much shame. Shame, shame, shame. But with that, head into the lobby here quick. And yeah, with that, that was the one of the week 3 Division B matches for the Van Zandt Militia Scrapyard Showdown. Hope you all enjoyed watching. And yeah, have a good day, and we'll hopefully get you a few more games cast this weekend. Have a good day.